This is my 2004 Volvo XC90, and if you've seen the previous video, you would know that the paint situation and just the general condition of this is pretty shit. This car has not been washed in over 2 years. I'd imagine a lot more than that, judging by the way it looks. So today I'm going to be trying to tackle the first wash in a long time. So I'm dragging my 9-year-old daughter, because child labour's fun, to try and at least clean up some of this utter state and make it look slightly less like an abandoned vehicle. So the first thing we're going to do is tackle the outside. I'm also going to hoover the inside as well. I don't have a pressure washer, so I have to go to the outdoor car washy thing. So we're going to do the wash on the outside first. I also want to clay bar it because this paint is absolutely diabolical. It's got moss on it, it's got scratches on it, it is no longer shiny. So we'll start with the outside. Let's crack on. So we've now done pretty much the outside, just its first wash, but under the bonnet is also, it hasn't been cleaned for ages. So look, this is what it looks like. You can see it obviously wasn't serviced too long ago because it hasn't actually done any miles since that. But if we look at all of this, this needs a complete and utter look at that. It looks like it's lived in the dump. So I think we're going to need to sort that out. Now what a difference that makes. Just a clean down, scrub up and a rinse off, and that makes all the difference. It's not perfect, it's a 20-year-old Volvo, but that before versus after, way better. The same with the rest of the car. So now let's start working on some of the interior. I've given this a first pass, which means I've clayed it, sprayed it, and now, well, I've done the interior as well, so, and a bit under the engine bay. So there's no more moss on it. There's no more shit on the inside. It's a lot smoother. I don't feel that same, I mean, it's not perfect. And at the same time, this is a 20-year-old Volvo, so it's never going to be perfect, but I just want it to be less shit. I mean, the headlights are one of the biggest problems at the moment, so I do have a polishing kit for that, so I'm going to give those a polish as well. But first and foremost, I want to see if I can change some of this and make it look a bit less shit. So I'm going to try a Maguire's compound and see. I'm not any tips as well, because I've never done this, so yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to again make it look slightly more respectable with less moss on it. So let's do that. So I started polishing the front wing, and I thought just general polish would do, but then you can see all of these like watermarks in there. Yeah, they get worse all the way up this pillar. That's not ideal. They're pretty deep as well, so I was like, that's just not going to cut it with a normal polish. I have to go a bit harder. So I obviously went a bit harder, but it's obviously made a difference just generally on the wing itself. But for the bigger stuff, I thought I'm going to get this out. And this is like a proper scratch remover, so it's really abrasive. So I thought, if anything's going to get this out, or at least make it slightly better, again, not looking for perfect, but I thought I'd give this a go and see if that would make a difference. And as you can see here, it already started making a difference to the A-pillar. I think that's a lot better than it was, but look at this. That is the door. It's, yeah, up close it's pretty bad. Back door and front door is absolutely the worst. But I hit it with that, and you can see the difference. Like, this is still a back door, which I haven't touched yet, and then look, that's the front. Like, it's not perfect at all, but Jesus Christ, what a difference this makes. Like, it was such a difference that It's insane. And there's some stuff I'm never going to get out. Like, I just don't think I could hit it for ages and it wouldn't make a difference. But look at that. 20-year-old Volvo. Coming up a treat. Yeah, boy. And next up, I decided to tackle the headlights. You know, you can see here they are so milky, and this is just like a typical problem on these. They just get absolutely hammered in the sun, and they just go all milky, and replacing them is really expensive. But take them out, kudos to Volvo. Like, I have never seen a removal of a headlight that easy. Yeah, that's it. Like, based on my Audi, this is just insane. So I thought I'd use the proper kit, so I got a kit. It was about 30 quid. I can put a link in the description if you really care. And you attach it to your drill, and there's different levels of paper. So you go through, like, it's wet and dry paper, basically. So you have to have it wet. So you have to put the paper on the disc, and then basically go over and make sure you keep it wet, because if you don't keep it wet, it will clog up and it goes all shitty. So make sure you keep the light wet and just blitz over it. And this is after the first pass. I can't remember the grade of the paper that it was, but I think it's 1200 or something like that. So I did a first pass at like 1200, and then I think the second pass was like 2000. I can't remember, I'm just making this up at this point. But you can see as it's starting to kind of get better. And once that was off, it still needs a polish after this, so you put a polishing compound on, and then blitz it with that, and it starts to get a lot better. But you can see just here that a lot of the milkiness has gone. It just still looks like it needs a polish, and I could have spent a lot longer on this and made it better, but I think it just came out really well in general. Like that compared to the first part, yes, so you can still see a bit of pitting in there, but it just looks so much better. And that was probably about a 15-minute go. So look at that on the car compared to before, and compared to paying like 250 euros for a new light. No thank you, mate. That's one light as well, one. There's no chance I'm doing that. So these just look so much better. So then I thought I'd tackle the other one. It's not too bad, but again, there's some quite deep pitting on that one. So I knew I was never going to get the pitting off completely because it's quite deep. But anything that makes it slightly better and means that I don't have to pay that sort of money is great. And what a difference the after. I mean, this is just insane. Like, honestly, when you look at the before and after, that is just so much better. It makes such a difference. And again, that saved me about 470 euros or something ridiculous like that. And I may have to change them in the future anyway, to change the left-hand drive ones. But for now, I think that is just such a difference. But I wanted to move on to like the greyness of this. And I'd heard that if you just heat it up with a heat gun, that can make a difference too. So it can like bring it back to blackness. Because polishing can't, and this is halfway through, so it does make a difference. But it's like it was decent, but it didn't make it perfect. And you can see I've only done half of it at this point, but it made it way better. And this side was way better than the other side. I tried to do the other side. You can see that was me fully done, and it's better, but the other side just didn't come up as well. And I heated it pretty hot. So, but again, it's way better than it was before, and it's changed it from, something that looks about rained off at this point, but you can see the difference even in the rain. It's just so much better. No moss for a start, that's one thing. But just the difference it makes to clean fully a car that hasn't been for a long time is night and day. So for something that costs less than £1,000, it just made it so much better. There's a lot of things I still need to do on this car, the headlining, the A-pillars. I've ordered some engine mounts as well, so they're on the way. But this is just one of those steps to just make it nicer to be in. And I think you'll agree that it has made a massive difference. Like, just inside and out, it's changed the car dramatically. I still need to sort out some of the leather, but yeah, look at that night and day difference. I love the thought of bringing this neglected car back to its former glory and taking it on loads more adventures. I've got huge plans for this and road trip, obviously up to the Arctic Circle. That is where this is going to go. So if you're interested in that, please follow along for more. Interested to hear your thoughts, and follow along for more of the journey. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.